called me a failure in front of everyone. Maybe college isn't for you, he'd sneer. Some people just aren't cut out for physics. Every time I asked a question, it felt like I was holding a target above my head. He'd aim, fire, and laugh while the class followed. Mr. Richer made my life hell every single day. It started with eye rolls, then mock quizzes just for me, then writing my test score on the board, circled in red, followed by, see what happens when you don't study. But I did study. I studied harder than anyone. I just didn't have his kind of mind, or maybe just not his kind of cruelty. After I bombed the midterm, only because he replaced the entire test format, I told my dad. He said some teachers are just tough. My friends said I was being dramatic, so I did something I'd never done before. I researched him, and what I found didn't just make me feel vindicated. It made my skin crawl. At first, it was little things. Old news snippets, mentions of a man with the same name in a town 2 states away, then a Reddit post in a true crime thread. Anyone remember the Richer case from '92? Dude pled out to manslaughter, but rumor was he did way more, changed his name, disappeared after probation. Manslaughter? I clicked every link, traced every breadcrumb. It wasn't just manslaughter, it was murder. He and his brother were part of some off-the-grid militia in the early '90s. A neighbor went missing, then another. The bodies were never found, just burned remains in a fire pit behind their shack in Missouri. His brother got life, Richer got a deal, pled to involuntary manslaughter, probation, counseling, disappeared, until he showed up in my town, teaching high school physics. I printed the court documents, archived newspaper clippings. One had a grainy photo of him in court, head shaved, eyes blank. Same smirk he wears now when someone stumbles on a question about vectors. I waited. The next day in class, I raised my hand when he mocked my homework. Want to tell everyone what a scalar quantity is this time? Or should I call security now? I stood up, slow and steady. I'd love to, Mr. Richer, but first, I think we should talk about your history with fire pits. He froze. The class got quiet. You know, the kind with bones in them, from 1992. Ring any bells? You could hear his breath stop. Then someone laughed nervously. I pulled the paper from my bag and held it high. According to this, you were rehabilitated, but the court records say you admitted to helping burn a body, didn't you? He lunged forward, but I stepped back and dropped the file on the desk. You fail me, and this goes straight to the principal. Hell, the whole school board, maybe even local news. Ever heard of mandatory background checks? He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. He knew I had him. By the end of the week, he stopped picking on me. By the end of the month, he stopped teaching. Resigned for health reasons, they said. I call it karma. Now, when people ask how I passed physics with an A after nearly failing the midterm, I just smile. Let's just say I studied everything about the subject, especially the man who tried to ruin me.